Greetings ladies and gentlemen, Melderon here, on another Classic WoW.live guide. This time we'll be doing a progressive Resto Shaman pre-raid best in slot, which was compiled by Egregious himself, the author of the Egregious Guide to Resto Shaman. This guide is progressive, meaning that it's good for all phases of Classic WoW, phases 1 through 6. And we'll cover pieces that are relevant in Phase 1, which is pre-Dire Maul, in the first part of the presentation, and then the second part of the presentation we'll be going over pieces that are good from Phases 2 through 6 or post-Dire Maul and going on further into different raid tiers. As with all of my guides, timestamps below will help you effectively navigate the guide, moving to different pieces that you're looking for or different phases. Also, this will be available via Google Slides, so you can read it at your own pace and reference it without watching the video. However, the full progressive best in slot guide is available on Classic WoW.live, where Egregious not only goes over pre-raid pieces, but the best in slot pieces for each raid tier that you acquire in raids. I'd heavily suggest going to CWL and checking out that guide written by Egregious that goes over the entirety of all the pieces that are best for Resto Shaman across all raid tiers and across all phases. A link will be in the description for that guide. Alright, let's get started. I'd like to briefly introduce Egregious to those who don't know him or are not aware of his work. Egregious is a vanilla WoW veteran who's cleared all content. He is the author and creator of the Egregious Guide to Resto Shaman, which is the preeminent guide to play a Resto Shaman endgame. He's also the author of the Resto Shaman Throughput and Efficiency Calculator, which allows you to calculate your efficiency depending on the spell power you have and the gear set you're wearing. And he's also created, of course, what this guide is based off of, the Resto Shaman Progressive Best in Slot list, and the link to all these things will be in the description. He's also one of the co-founders of Classic WoW.live, and he's the co-founder along with me of the Classic Shaman Discord, which is a very active community of Shaman, and we'd love to see you join if you're interested in playing a Shaman in Classic WoW. Links to all these things will be in the description below. And lastly, overall, the guy knows his stuff. He is a veritable Shaman expert. So let's get started with the list. First, we'll go over the Phase 1 pre-raid best in slot. These are pieces that are best in slot for Resto Shaman before Dire Maul is launched in Phase 2. For your headpiece, you're going to get the Crown of the Penitent, which is 20 elect and restores 6 mana per 5 seconds. It's acquired from a quest called Houses of the Holy, which is a level 55 dungeon quest. The quest giver is Leonid Bartholomew, a Revered, who's located in Light's Hope Chapel in Eastern Playlands at 8258. All you have to do is go into Strat and retrieve 5 of those holy waters that are in those supply crates and bring them back, and you'll get this as a quest reward. For the next piece, you're going to be getting the Tooth of Gnar, which is 14 intellect and 8 stamina and restores 3 mana per 5 seconds. It is acquired from a drop from General Drakaseth, who's located in Upper Blackrock Spire. He's the last boss at 3280, and the drop chance is approximately 25%. Moving on to your shoulder slot, you're going to gain the Royal Cap Spalders, which has 13 spirit, 9 intellect, 8 stamina, and increases all healing done by spells and effects by up to 26. This is acquired from a drop from Janice Barov, who is a boss located in Skullomance in the basement area at 7811, and the drop chance is approximately 14%. Next, we have the back piece, which is the Archivist Cape of Healing. This is a random enchantment drop, so it's not guaranteed to drop from the boss, but when it does, it'll randomly enchant with something. It will always have 4 mana per 5 seconds, making it great for Resto Shaman, considering MP5 is a very important stat for us. However, what you really want to get is the plus healing bonus on this. You want to farm this until you get the plus healing. That'll be the best in slot cape for Phase 1. It drops off of Archivist Galford in Strat Living in the Scarlet Bastion at 2989. It has a drop chance of approximately 20%. For the chest piece, as with all healers in Phase 1, you're looking for the Robes of the Exalted, which give 11 spirit, 5 intellect, and increases healing done by 68. It's acquired from a drop from Baron Rivendare, the last boss in Stratholme Dead, in the Slaughterhouse at 4819 with a drop chance of approximately 14%. For your wrist, you're looking for the Loomguard arm braces, which have 7 intellect, 6 stamina, and increased healing done by up to 33. This is acquired from a quest/drop, and it drops from Kirtonos the Herald. Now, he is only spawned via a quest chain that you can get from Eva Sarkov at Caradaro in Western Playlands at 7074. This is part of a series that include the quests Dr. Theolon Krastanov, the Butcher, Krastanov's Bag of Horrors, and finally the quest you need, Kirtonos the Herald. To summon him, you'll be given a vial of blood of the Innocents. You'll take that to the brazier that's located in the Chamber of Summoning at 37.6. You're going to put it on the brazier, and Kirtonos will spawn. You'll kill him, and he has 11% chance to drop this. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, okay, I killed him, he didn't drop it, now I can't resummon him again. You're going to have to summon him and immediately drop the quest. That way, if you kill him and it doesn't drop, you can always retake the quest, go back to the brazier, receive a new Blood of Innocence, and respawn him. It's very important that after you click the brazier to abandon the quest, kill him, and then this is how you can farm these bracers. They are definitely the best in slot bracers for Resto Shaman in Phase 1. Alternatively, if you screw this up, you can also just find people who also have the quest and hope that it'll drop in one of those runs. Now for the hands, we have two options here. We can go for Hands of the Exalted Herald, which give 13 intellect and 12 spirit and increase healing done by up to 33, and these will drop off of Princess Moira Bronzebeard at the end of Blackrock Depths at the Imperial Seat 7712 with a drop chance of approximately 25%. Or you can go for a much harder thing to get, the Atalai Gloves of Healing, which is also a random enchantment gloves. It already gives +9, but it can give more. It can give up to, I believe, 27 or 33, considering we're doing 1.12 itemization, so you can get more plus healing than the Hands of the Exalted Herald. The catch is, it's a random enchantment. It's not guaranteed to drop, and if it does drop, it can enchant any other possible enchantment. So this is going to be a lot harder to get and will require a lot of farming. It drops off of any of the mini-bosses located in the Pit of Sacrifice in the Sunken Temple. Has a 7% drop chance off of them, so good luck farming this if you're looking for this one. For our waist, we have the Sash of Mercy. This is going to probably fetch a pretty penny in the auction house if you're not lucky enough to get it yourself. +10 spirit, +14 stamina, and 53 bonus healing. And this is acquired from world drops. At various level 55 plus elites and non-elites, and drop chances are abysmal, anywhere between 0.0006 to 0.0025%. So good luck with this one. But it's definitely worth it. It's a great piece, and it provides a lot of bonus healing. For our legs, we have two options. The Sky Shroud leggings, which drop off of High Lord Omok in Lower Blackrock Spire, and Mock's Doom at 2534 with a drop chance of approximately 17%. They give 8 stamina, 8 intellect, and increased damage and healing by up to 34. Or we can go for the Luminary Kilt, which is acquired from Golem Lord Argolmak in Blackrock Depths in the Manufactory at 3451 with a drop chance of 31%. And they give 20 intellect, 8 spirit, 8 stamina, and increase healing and magical effects up to 22. The big difference between here is, would you rather have a bigger mana pool or would you rather have more spell power? Up to you. The Sky Shroud is usually the go-to for most Resto Shaman. For our feet, we go with the Omnicast Boots, which give 9 intellect, 6 stamina, and increase healing done by magical spells and effects by up to 22. It's acquired from a drop from Golem Lord Argolmak, who you're also farming if you want that Luminary Kilt, in Blackrock Depths in the Manufactory at 3451 again, and a drop chance of 25%. For ring number 1, we're going with the Rosewine Circle, which gives 5 MP5 and increases healing done by up to 29. It is acquired from a drop from Orok Doomhowl or War Master Voon in Lower Blackrock Spire. Now, Orok Doomhowl is summoned at 3624, and War Master Voon is in Tazalore at 6762. The drop chance for Orok is 20%, the drop chance for War Master Voon is approximately 17%. Now, for Ring 2, there are 2 pieces you should get. Whenever Egregious puts an "and," he's suggesting that you get both of these for your ring slots for ring slot number 2. The first one is Forging Seal, which is well known, has 5 intellect, 4 stamina, and increases spell power by up to 37 for healing. It is part of the In Dreams quest line. It's a level 52 group quest chain. It's a pretty long chain. The quest giver is High Lord Talon Forging at Hearthglen in Western Playlands at 4215. But the quest itself, the long quest chain, starts at Tyrion Forging in the Eastern Playlands at 844. And the objective is to escort Talon Forging out of Hearthglen. Once you do that, you'll head back to Tyrion and you'll be able to get the Forging Seal. You're also going to want to get the Mark of the Dragon Lord, which provides a protective shield around the caster, absorbing 500 damage. While the shield holds, it increases mana regeneration by 22 every 5 seconds for 30 minutes. So this is a pretty huge on-use ring proc that would be very beneficial in certain circumstances. If you have questions on when to actually use this, I highly suggest going on CWL and asking Egregious yourself. I'm sure he can provide you better feedback into what boss fights or what raids this will be most beneficial in. Now, it drops off of Overlord Wormthalak, last boss in Lower Blackrock Spire, in the Chamber of Battle at 4662, has a pretty low drop chance of approximately 2%. Now, for trinkets, there are 3 you should get for various uses in raid settings. The first is Second Wind, which on use restores 30 mana every 1 second for 10 seconds. And it also, on equip, increases healing done by up to 22. Very good trinket. It's acquired from Golem Lord Argolmak in Blackrock Depths. We know this guy pretty well by now. In the Manufactory at 3451 with a drop chance of approximately 25%. The next is the Burst of Knowledge, which on use reduces mana cost of all spells by 100 for 10 seconds. And on equip, increases damage and healing for magical spells and effects by up to 12. It's acquired from a drop from Ambassador Flamelash, located in Blackrock Depths in the Chamber of Enchantment at 4840 with a drop chance of also approximately 25%. And finally, you should also get the Shard of Ephrasa, which on equip restores both 5 mana per 5 seconds and 5 health per 5 seconds. So this would probably be better in longer fights. It's acquired from a quest called Heroes of Old, which is part of a very long quest chain, which is given by the fallen hero of the Horde in between the Blasted Lands and Swamp of Sorrows. But the quest giver for this this particular part of the quest chain is Corporal Thun Splithoof. He's actually a ghost, and he spawns in the Swamp of Sorrows at 3466, right next to the fallen hero of the Horde if you're on that part of the quest chain. As with the rings, make sure to go on CWL and ask Egregious what fights each trinket will be best in. You can also join the CWL Discord, and you can also talk to him on there. He's very active on the CWL Discord as well. Links to all that stuff will be in the description below. For Trinket Slot 2, there's only one piece you're going to keep in that trinket at all times. It's the Briarwood Reed, which is just a static increase of your healing by up to 29. And it's acquired from a drop from Jed Runewatcher in Upper Blackrock Spire in the Hall of Blackhand at 3355 with a drop chance of approximately 33%. Now, you'll also be rolling against this with DPSers, so it's going to be a little bit harder to get. You're likely going to have to farm it a few times to get it. And that holds true for any piece that has damage and healing increases, so always make sure you're looking at that and realizing that DPSers will likely be rolling against you on pieces like that, but that's just how the game goes. For your weapon, as with all healers, you're going to be going for the Hammer of Grace, which is a mace that increases all healing done by up to 31. It's acquired from a drop from the Chest of the Seven, which is the end of the Seven Dwarf boss encounter in Blackrock Depths in the Summoner's Tomb at 4721, with a drop chance of approximately 23%. And finally, for your offhand, you have two pieces that you should get. The first is Gizlok's Hypertech Buckler, which gives 10 intellect, 5 stamina, and restores 4 mana per 5 seconds. It's acquired from a drop from Tinkerer Gizlok in the green section of Moradin at 5673 with a drop chance of 33%. You're also going to grab the Drakestone of Healing, which is also another random enchantment piece. It already increases damage and healing by up to 7, but if you get the healing enchantment, you can get it up to well past 30 healing. And this is acquired from a drop from any of the green drakes that spawn in the Sunken Temple, Morphaz, Hazaz, Dreamscythe, or Weaver, and they spawn in the Pit of Sacrifice and in the Chamber of the Dreamer. The drop chance for this is 5%, so good luck farming this one. Okay, so after you acquired all your Phase 1 pieces, you should look something like this. Now let's move on to Phases 2 through 6's pre-raid best in slot. Now, this is still pre-raid, but since Dire Maul has come out and other raid tiers come out, better gear will become available during the timeline of Classic WoW. So the following pieces will take that progressive content release schedule into account. There are two headpieces you should get in Phase 2 and above. The Clever Hat, which gives 11 intellect and 10 stamina and provides 7 MP5. This drops off of Zevram Thornhoof, located in Dire Maul East at 6687 with a drop chance of 20%. You're also going to want to get the Insightful Hood, which gives 15 intellect, 9 spirit, and 12 stamina, and increases your chance to crit with spells by 1%, and also increases your healing done by spells and effects by up to 33. This drops off of Chorush the Observer in Dire Maul North in Gordok Seat at 35.7 with a drop chance of 25%. For your neck, you're going to get one of these two pieces, depending on what phase you're actually acquiring your pre-raid BIS. Either the Animated Chain Necklace, which gives 7 stamina and 6 spirit and increases healing done by spells and effects up to 33. This drops off of Ramstein the Gorger, located in Stratholm Dead in the Slaughter Square. Now, he spawns after all other abominations are killed during that gauntlet type encounter, and this drops at a rate of approximately 14%. If you're in phase 5 or higher and still looking to get pre-raid BIS, this is very late vanilla. You're going to try to get the Wavefront Necklace, which gives 6 intellect, 5 stamina, restores 8 mana per 5 seconds, and provides 24 bonus healing. This drops off of Lord Squall. Now, you're going to have a raid group to get this guy down. He's located in Selthus, and he's only summoned at Greater Windstone. So you're going to have to get a Cultist set, which drops off of the NPCs in Selthus. You're going to have to dress yourself with the Cultist set. You also have to have friendly reputation with the Cenarian Circle, and acquire 4 medallions of stations. In order to get these medallions, you have to kill a number of Crimson Templars, which are actually summoned at the lesser Windstones. As you kill them, they drop these medallions, which can be combined into these medallions of stations. You're going to need 4 of those to summon Lord Squall, and you're going to require a raid group to bring him down. The drop chance for this necklace is 33%. For your shoulders, you're going to have 2 options depending on phase. If it's before phase 5, you're going to go with the phase 1 piece, the Royal Cap Spalders, which you already covered, drops off of Janus Barov and Skullomance. But if you're phase 5 or higher, you're going to go with the Mantle of Lost Hope, which provides 26 bonus healing, 11 intellect, 5 stamina, and 3 mana per 5 seconds. And this drops off of a Lord Rockwar, who is a patrolling mini-boss NPC in Blackrock Depths in the detention block, and the drop chance for this mantle is 25%. For your back piece, Phase 2 introduces Hide of the Wild, which is acquired from leatherworkers. The pattern drops inside of Not Thimblejack's cache at 3422 inside of Dire Maul North. It has a 1% chance to drop, and you need a Gordok Shackle key to free him, and once you free him, you're able to loot his chest. Now, the reagents are pretty extensive. You need 30 rugged leather, 12 living essences, 10 essence of water, 8 larval acid, 3 cured rugged hides, and 8 rune threads. However, it is a very nice cape. It gives 10 intellect, 8 stamina, and increases healing by up to 42. Now, if you can't get that or don't want to spend the coin to get it, you can also just go with the Archivist Cape of Healing again, which is the same as Phase 1, which drops off of Archivist Galford in Stratholme. This is a random enchantment, so you have to roll the dice and make sure you get the plus healing version of this cape. For your chest piece, you're going to hang on to, if you already have, the Robes of the Exalted if you haven't raided yet, but you're also going to grab one more piece, the Mind Surge Robe. Now, this requires a tribute run into Dire Maul North and can drop in the Gordok Tribute chest, which is located at 35-8 in Gordok Seat. And the chance of this dropping in the chest is 23%. But it's a very nice chest piece with 13 intellect, 12 stamina, and restores 10 mana per 5 seconds. This is why it's good to have both, because one just gives flat MP5 while the other gives plus healing, so depending on the encounter, you may want to swap pieces depending on what is needed more, plus healing or mana per 5 seconds. For your wrist, there are 2 possible pieces. If you're before Phase 5, you're going to try to get those Loomguard arm braces, which we covered in Phase 1, which drops off of Kurtonos the Herald in Skullomance after you summon him at 37-6. Or if you're in Phase 5 or later, you're going to try to get the Abyssal Male Arm Guards of Restoration. This is another random enchantment piece, and you're going to hope for the plus healing on this one. This also drops off of Lord Squall. We went over how to summon him in a previous slide, so you're going to have to make sure you have those 4 medallions of stations in order to summon him, and you're going to have a raid group. And the chance of this dropping is 33%. For your hands, you're going to get the Harmonious Gauntlets, which give 5 intellect, 5 spirit, 5 stamina, and increases healing done by up to 51. This is acquired from a drop from King Gordok himself in Dire Maul North and Gordok Seat at 35-8, with a drop chance of 23%. For your waist, there are 2 options you can get. The first is the Whipvine Cord, which gives 9 intellect, 6 mana per 5 seconds, and increases healing done by up to 31. This drops off of Alzin the Wild Shaper, located in Dire Maul East at 66-49 with a drop chance of 19%. You can also get the Corehound Belt. This is a lot harder to get. It gives 16 intellect, 12 fire resistance, which would be good for MC and Ani, and increases healing done by up to 62. And this is acquired from Leatherworkers, and the reagents are 8 fiery core, 12 core leather, 12 enchanted leather, 4 cured rugged hides, and 4 iron web spider cells. So the reagents require the Leatherworker to go into molten cores. So this is why it's going to be a little bit harder, considering if your guild hasn't gone in there yet, but you can purchase it on the auction house. The pattern itself is purchased from Lothos Dark Bargainer, who is located in Blackrock Depths in the Grim Guzzler at 4446, but it requires revered reputation with the Thorium Brotherhood to buy this pattern. For your legs, there's a clear choice here. You want to get Padre's Trousers, which give 20 intellect, 6 MP5, and 42 bonus healing. It's acquired from a drop from Ilyana Ravenoak, located in Dire Maul West in the Court of the Highborn in 3365 with a drop chance of 25%. She's the NPC that's accompanied by that bear that pats around the top balcony portion of that area. For feet, there are 3 options depending on phase. If you're before Phase 5, you definitely want to get the Merciful Greaves. They get 14 intellect, 14 stamina, and increase healing done by 20. Drops off of Alzin the Wild Shaper in Dire Maul East at 66-49 with a drop chance of 19%. If you're in Phase 5 or higher, there are 2 options that are a bit better. The first is the Abyssal Male Sabatons of Restoration, which drop from Crimson Templars, which are summoned at Lesser Windstones in Silithus. And in order to summon them, you have to have equipped 3 pieces of the Cultist set. The drop chance for this is 33%. You can also try to get the Fire Moss Boots. These are more comparable to the Merciful Greaves, but they don't provide an MP5. They give 18 intellect, 8 stamina, and increase healing done by up to 20. They drop off of Hurley Black Breath, who is located in Blackrock Depths in the Grim Guzzler around 4446. However, he doesn't spawn unless you destroy 3 kegs of beer in the back room there for him and his guards to spawn. And if he does spawn, he has a 30% chance to drop this piece. For Ring 1, as with Phase 1, you're going to hold on to that Rose Wine Circle, which gives 5 mana per 5 and 29 bonus healing. Again, it can drop either off of Orok Doomhail or War Master Voon in Lower Blackrock Spire. For Ring 2 slot, there are a couple different options depending on phase. If you're in phase 2 to 5, you're going to go with the Ring of Demonic Guile, which gives 10 Elect and restores 6 MP5. This also drops off Vows in the Wild Shaper and Dire Maul East at 66.49 at 19%. Again, if you're before phase 6, you're going to also pick up Forge Ring Seal, which was best in slot in phase 1, with 5 Intellect, 4 Stamina, and increases healing done by up to 37. Again, this is a reward after completing a very long quest chain starting a Tyrian Forge Ring in the Eastern Plaguelands. But if you're at phase 6, which is Nax, you're going to replace Forge Ring Seal with the Band of Piety. This gives 10 Intellect, 10 Stamina, increases healing done by 22, and provides 4 MP5. This is acquired from a quest, the Superior Armaments of Battle. Now, the quest giver is Quartermaster Miranda Breachlock. So you're going to have to turn in Insignias of the Dawn or the Crusade to the Argent Dawn Quartermasters to get this piece. So you're going to either farm Scourge Stones or complete the Writ quests to get these insignias, and these insignias can be turned in for pieces of gear. This is going to be a pretty long grind to get this, so if Forge Ring Seal is easier, I'd probably go with that, but it is better than Forge Ring Seal considering it gives MP5. For Trinket 1, there are 3 pieces you want to definitely get your hands on. The first is the Mind Tap Talisman, which restores 11 mana per 5 seconds. This is a default trinket you'll see on many Resto Shaman. It drops from Magister Calendris in Dire Maul West in the Court of the Highborn at 32.63 with a drop chance of 20%. Also, you should definitely pick up Second Wind, which is a phase 1 best in slot piece that drops off of Golden Lord Argomac in Blackrock Depths in the Manufactory at 34.51 with a drop chance of 25%. And this is an on-use trinket that restores 30 mana every 1 second for 10 seconds, and also an equip increases healing done by spells and effects up to 22. You also want to get your hands on the Royal Seal of Eldra Thalas, which gives 10 fire resistance and increases healing and damage by up to 23. Now, this is required from the quest Frost Shock and You. The quest giver itself is a book called Frost Shock and You, and it only spawns in Dire Maul. So if you see the book, you pick it up, you take the quest, and then you go to the Dire Maul Anathenum, which is accessible either via Dire Maul West or Dire Maul North, and turn in the quest to Lorekeeper Javon to get this trinket. Now, for Trinket Slot 2, there's even more options. For starters, you can get another Mind Tap Talisman and run double Mind Tap Talisman. This restores another 11 mana per 5 seconds. You can also get the Burst of Knowledge, which was also a phase 1 best in slot, which drops off of Ambassador Flamelash in Blackrock Depths at 48.40 with a 25% drop rate. It has an on-use ability of reducing the mana cost of all spells by 100 for 10 seconds, and on equip increases damage and healing by 12. You also want to get the Briarwood Reed, which was another phase 1 piece, which drops off of Jad Runewatcher in Upper Blackrock Spire at 33.55 at a 33% drop rate. This increases damage and healing by up to 29 statically on equip. Another thing you definitely want to get is the Enamored Water Spirit. This is a Shaman class quest reward that is acquired from the quest Devoodoo. The quest giver is Bothra the Windwatcher in Alterac Mountains at 81.67. And you're going to pick up 6 feathers from the mini-bosses above the Pit of Sacrifice in the Sunken Temple to get this. Now, this is a very interesting trinket. It summons a Mana Spring Totem with 5 health at the feet of the caster for 24 seconds that restores 27 mana every 2 seconds to group members within 20 yards. So essentially, this actually takes the place of your Water Totem and is much more powerful than the standard Mana Spring Totem, even if you have Restorative Totems. And this also benefits from Restorative Totem's talent. Essentially, you can drop this down as a emergency cooldown in between when your Mana Tide Totem is available. And your healers and casters in your group are definitely going to appreciate this trinket. For your weapon, as with phase 1, you're going to get the Hammer of Grace, which gives 31 bonus healing and drops in the chest of the 7 in the 7 Dwarves room in Blackrock Depths at 47.21 with a 23% drop chance. For your offhand, if you're before phase 3, so before the inclusion of Alterac Valley, you're going to go with the same options from phase 1. Gizluk's Hypertech Buckler, which gives 10 Elect, 5 Stamina, and 4 MP5, which drops off of Tinkerer Gizluk and Maraudon at 56.73 in the green area, or the Drakestone of Healing, which is a random enchantment, which already gives plus 7 to spell power, but you can get a lot more if you get the plus bonus healing enchant. This has a 5% drop chance off of any of the green drakes inside of the basement area of Sunken Temple, the Pit of Sacrifice, and it drops off of Morphaz, Hazaz, Dreamscythe, and Weaver. So you're going to get both of these before phase 3 because they both have really good uses depending on the fight you're doing. However, if you're in phase 3, the clear choice is the Lay of the Life Giver, which requires Exalted Reputation with the Frostwolf clan to buy this. So you have to run a lot of AV to get this done, and it also costs 50 gold. However, you get 53 bonus healing and 3 mana per 5 seconds. This is a great offhand to use in all encounters. Finally, we have totem slots. Yes, in phase 5, we're able to get totems. So in phase 5, you have 2 options. and I try to get my hands on both of these as they're both beneficial. The Totem of Rebirth is acquired from a drop from Isalian, a boss in Dire Maul East at 6649. The catch is she has to be summoned as part of the dungeon set to upgrade questline. This is why it's only available in Phase 5. The drop chance is 17%. The next is the Totem of Sustaining, which is also acquired in Phase 5 and increases healing done by your lesser healing wave by 53. And this drops off of various mobs in Scholomance: Lord Alexei Barov, Dr. Theolian Krestinov, Instructor Militia, Lady Alucia Barov, the Ravinian, and Lore Keeper Polkeep. So it's a pretty low drop chance for this to drop, but definitely worth farming if you have the time. Ladies and gents, before I end, I just want to let you know that there are links in the description or on the Google Slides, if you're reading on Google Slides, to the Egregious Guide to Resto Shaman on Classic WoW Live for a very good endgame guide to learn how to play Resto Shaman, the Egregious Classic Resto Shaman Progressive BIS list, what this video was based off of, so there's much more information on that list. The Resto Shaman Throughput and Efficiency Calculator to get the best out of your gear and your spell power. The Classic Shaman Discord, so we can talk about stuff like theory crafting and all things Shaman. It's a great community. We have over 1,000 members. I really suggest joining that. And finally, Classic WoW Live, which all of these guides are actually hosted on, and many other guides by the community are made from on a daily basis, so definitely check that out. It's a website that Egregious and I and a few other people have built for the Classic WoW community. So with that, I want to thank you all for watching this video. It really means a lot to have the Shaman community come here and talk and discuss everything Shaman. If you like this type of content that I make, please leave a like below. And if you're interested in seeing more guides like this and more Shaman content or content that has nothing to do with Shaman but Classic WoW in general, consider subscribing because we have a lot more coming on this channel. You can listen to our podcast, which is DefTalk, and our other podcast, Good Morning Azeroth, on Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and iTunes, as well as Spotify. Links to all those things will be in the description below. Also, definitely check us out on Classic WoW Live if you want to see more content and more guides and more community-based forum posts and tools we're creating over there. Last but not least, I want to thank my patrons who make videos like this possible and support us directly, helping us make better content and higher quality content. Also, I'd be amiss if I didn't thank the stream team who are regular contributors over on Def Camp streams, which are on Twitch and on YouTube, so definitely check that out if you want to see Classic WoW streams, especially the beta, which we have access to as well. Thank you all for watching. Keep on keybinding and grinding, and as always, peace, my Shaman brothers and sisters. May the ancestors be with you. Greetings, adventurers. Melderon here. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you'd like to sport some official Def Camp Melderon t-shirts and hoodies, head on over to Brand Young Media's Def Camp Melderon TV merchandise website. The link is in the description below.